At this time is our public hearing for the road closures, and Mr. Andrews would come.
Good morning, Madam Chairman. Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
The next few items on the agenda are road closures up in the Lawdy and Rayford area. We've gone through this before, but anyway, I'll read this by title. This is a notice of public hearing, given that the Board of County Commissioners of Bradford County, Florida shall hold a public hearing on Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m. or soon thereafter as the matter may be heard in the Board of County Commissioners Chambers at the Bradford County Courthouse located at 945 North Temple Avenue in Stark, Florida, to consider the exercise of its authority pursuant to Chapter 336 Florida statutes to close and abandon the westerly 15 feet of a 30-foot platted street along the easterly boundaries of Lot 39 and 42 of Woodlawn, Plat Book 1, page 17 of the Public Records of Bradford County, Florida, as pertains to the following Bradford County parcel number 01295-0-00102, and this is the Bonilla family of lots. We need to ask for public comments, a motion, and a vote.
At this time, are there any public comments? If there are, if you would come to the podium. Seeing or hearing none, at this time, I'd entertain a motion for approval.
I make a motion that the closure be approved as read.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Andrews.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Doherty. Any questions, discussions? All in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Ayes carry.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The second, this is affecting the John Patton property and what we call Eunice Road in North Lawdy. This is, again, the board to consider the exercise of its authority pursuant to Chapter 337 Florida statutes to close and abandon a 30-foot platted street along the northerly 15 feet of Lot 42 and the southerly 15 feet of Lot 47 of Woodlawn, the easterly 15 feet of a 30-foot platted street along the easterly boundaries of Lots 47 and 58 of Woodlawn, Plat Book 1, page 17 of the Public Records of Bradford County, Florida, as it pertains to the following Bradford County parcel number. This is 01131-0-02500, and this is the property of John Patton. And again, public comments and a motion for a vote.
At this time, are there any public comments? Seeing and hearing none, I ask for a motion for approval.
Make a motion to approve the road closure of John Patton as read.
A motion by Commissioner Doherty, second by Commissioner Thompson. Any questions and discussion? All in favor, by sign aye.
Aye.
5-0.
Thank you, Madam. And the last closure, again, this is to consider the exercise of its authority pursuant to Chapter 336 Florida statutes to close and abandon a 30-foot platted street along the northerly 15 feet of Lot 43 and the southerly 15 feet of Lot 46 of Woodlawn, and the westerly 15 feet of a 30-foot platted street along the westerly boundaries of Lots 46 and 59 of Woodlawn, Plat Book 1, page 17 of the Public Records of Bradford County, Florida, as it pertains to the following Bradford County parcel number. This is 01130-0-02501, and this is the property of Mr. Marcus King. And again, we need to ask for public comments and a motion for a vote.
At this time, are there any public comments? Hearing and seeing none, ask for motion for approval.
I make a motion to, for the road closure for Mark King as read.
A motion by Commissioner Reddick. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Thompson. Any questions, discussion? All in favor, sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0.
Thank you, Madam.
Thank you, Ms. Andrews. At this time, I have two public comments. Did I miss any? Did anyone have? At this time, we'll hear from Dr. Steele regarding the Cypress Run boat ramp.
Paul Still, 14167 Southwest 101st Avenue, Stark. I'm back again about Cypress Run Boat Ramp. The county has, or should have received a notice from DEP that additional information is needed to process your permit for that boat ramp. The materials required to bring that permit to the point that it can be reviewed are significant. And my calculations are that there's less than $5,000 left in the grant to pay DRMP. to do that work. I think it's very important that the county determine whether they're going to proceed with DRMP or whether they need to go out and find another firm to complete this project. It'd be a real shame to lose the opportunity to put in a boat ramp there at Cypress Run. Again, they've put in essentially the same plan that they had before, which requires a dredging permit. That permit is going to be very difficult to get. In fact, it's significant limbo at this point because there is, in fact, some action at the federal level dealing with 404 permits. The state is in the process of challenging that action. So it could well be that they would, it may be impossible to get a 404 permit in the near future. It's very simple. That project could be very simple. All you need to do is go in and remove the vegetation in the existing canal, do a maintenance dredging, which doesn't require a 404 permit, build a very simple boat ramp parking area that uses pervious parking, which means you don't have to have a retention pond. You'd have a really nice, easily fundable project. But if you continue to seek this high-end project that DRMP has put in place, I think you're going to essentially walk away with nothing. And so I'd urge you to really dig down and find out what needs to be done with that permit. And probably the first thing that needs to be done is you need to ask for another extension from the Fish and Wildlife Commission because that, the current extension ends the end of June. And once that ends, you're kind of stuck. And on a completely different topic, I'll be here if later on in the agenda I drafted the response from Bradford Soil and Water Conservation District dealing with the plats that you have before you. And if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Steele. And next we have Nurse David Ross.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm David Ross. I reside at 315 North Myrtle Street in Stark. I'm both a Sherman and a Ross. Grew up in Lottie, Northeast 17th Avenue. So I just read up there that this is not supposed to be personal, and I just want to speak on the subject of living here for 50 years and some of the things that I've seen. I grew up here, childhood schoolmates with my childhood schoolmates. I remember playing Pop Warner for the Bradford Cowboys. I remember walking on Orange Street, where the track is and the middle school is on Orange Street, and this car passes by and somebody yells a not positive word. You can possibly guess what that was. I was about 13 or 14 at the time. That was the first time anyone called me that. I remember making good grades at Bradford High School. I remember being top 10% of my class when Santa Fe was still awarding scholarships for the top 10%. I remember being a captain on my senior football team. I remember met this girl in Spanish class senior year and she started liking me and I started liking her. Just like small town romances, the high school sweethearts make memories that last a lifetime. Wrong. In my story, the sweethearts don't go to prom, don't get married, and their child is aborted because the whole family supported the stance that no daughter of mine is going to be a blank lover. That Christian family was prominent in Bradford County. My high school sweetheart's dad was the principal of the high school. Not trying to slander about anybody's name. I'm not making this up. This is just the truth that I live here. I've never thought of abortion as an option to choose before then. I couldn't wait to leave this place, Bradford County. This is a place where I was branded not good enough. Let's just fast forward. I wrote all this down so I wouldn't miss anything. Fast forward to last year, this county commission's decided to take a well-respected man from the 4-H position, basically saying, you're not good enough. And in Bradford County, history keeps on repeating itself. By the way, I looked up Bradford 4-H, and everyone in leadership position looks alike. I recently spoke to the gentleman who was removed from the position, who is a Bradford native like me, and though he feels he was mistreated and he got branded not good enough, he's still doing what he loves to do, mentoring kids. I was here at the last meeting, February 15th, and after those opioid abatement proposals were given and the commissioners voted to give the entirety of the county funds and the entirety of the LSF grant money to Bradford County Fire and Rescue, I was so upset I barely slept that night. I have copies of the rest of this statement, but basically I'm saying I've been doing my homework, and from what I can ascertain, and some of the members of the commission are very busy in various organizations that don't necessarily represent the interests of the residents of Bradford County.
Thank
My
you, Mr.
question
Ross.
is,
If you could leave your statement for us. We had a limit of 3 minutes, and I hate to have to cut you off, but I have to be fair to everyone.
well, it'll be a,
Thank you. Okay. Did I miss any other public comments? All right. Thank you. At this time, we are moving forward to the approval of our consent agenda.
Make a motion, we approve this consent agenda.
Okay. A motion offered by Mr. Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Reddick. Any questions, discussion?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
On item I, we keep referring to these as new fire stations. These are new living quarters, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is
Right?
correct.
Yeah, okay, because I think this is the second time I've seen something that refers to new fire stations.
Right. This is the new construction that we've been talking about for a year or so.
Yeah, okay.
And it was recommended by the clerk that we memorialize it on the consent agenda. That's really the only reason you're seeing it, is something that we've planned for in the past.
Okay, just want to make sure that we're not, I know we already have the bays and things like that at the stations, that we're not
Yes, sir.
going any further into construction than needed. So,
That's correct, yes,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you.
And the
So for
verbiage is per mine and Ben's conversation. So if there was a mistake in the verbiage, I apologize, but that was per mine and Ben's conversation.
Okay.
All right.
So for point of clarification, we're talking about the bays or the living quarters as opposed to a new station. Is that correct? All right. Okay. Any further questions, discussion? We had the motion in the second. Are we ready to vote? All in favor? Sign aye.
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 Any opposed? 5-0. Right, item 5, in consideration of the BH Farm, the minor subdivision, Mr. Andrews is gonna come forward and go through each of those, and we'll take action.
Good morning again. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Yes,
The following 3 items are minor subdivisions that have been applied for here in the county area. A minor subdivision is subdivisions that consist of 3 to 9 lots. The first one to consider is B&H Farms, is a minor subdivision located in Section 35, Township 6 South, Range 22 East in Bradford County, Florida. To consider this up, the plat to be registered in the Registry of Plat Books in Bradford County. This property is located on County Road, Southwest County Road 100A, which is Edwards Road. This used to be what we call the old Holtzendorf Farm. There's 9 lots. There are no improvements to this subdivision. All access is coming off of County Road 100A, Southwest County Road 100A, which is Edwards Road. There is no public comment. We're just taking action to accept this plat. I have reached out to the County Public Works Director and also the Bradford County Soil and Water Conservation District, and they have supplied me with some comments in regards to all 3 of these proposed subdivisions. Again, no one's called to either accept or deny it. It's just, again, no public comments. This is just presenting a public hearing for you, the board, to consider accepting this plat. If I can request the Madam Chairman, Mr. Clerk, and the County Attorney to please meet me or Mr. Cornegay in his office afterwards. If we accept these plats, I'll need y'all to sign them.
hearing the comments and description given by Mr. Andrews, considering the BH Farm as a minor subdivision located in Section 35, Township 6 South, Range 22 East, Bradford County. Do I hear a motion for approval?
Make a motion to approve.
Okay. A motion by Commissioner Doherty. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Thompson. Any other discussion, questions? Ready to vote? All by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes carry 5-0.
Thank you, Madam
Number
Chairman.
6.
The next plat to be considered is also a minor subdivision. This plat is entitled Hunter's Acres. It's a minor subdivision located in Section 22, Township 7 South, Range 21 East, Bradford County, Florida. Again, this is to be considered to be entered into the registry for the plat books here in Bradford County. This parcel is 6 yacht lots located off of County Road 18 between Hampton Lake and County Road 227. Again, there are no internal improvements. All access to these lots come off of County Road 18.
Hearing your description given by Mr. Andrews, do I have a motion for consideration for the Hunter's Acre, a minor subdivision located in Section 22, Township 7 South, Range 21 East, Bradford County? Is there a motion for approval?
I make a motion to consider Hunter's Acres.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Reddick, second by Mr. Thompson. Commissioner Thompson, any further question or discussion? All in favor by the sign aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? 5-0.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And the last plat to consider is also a minor subdivision consisting of 9 lots. This is entitled The Refuge. It's a minor subdivision located in Section 1, Township 7 South, Range 19 East, Bradford County, Florida. And I'd like to ask you to consider this as part of the registry for the plat books of Bradford County. This parcel is, for lack of a better term, located west of the Hazens property out on County Road between Brooker and the New River area, where the New River crosses before you get into Worthington. I have spoken to Mr. Dodds, Public Works Director, about it, and Mr. Steele has some comments regarding this subdivision, this plat. There is it's a non-maintained county road, but this plat will be served by an easement that the property owner will put in for ingress, egress, and utilities. So again, there's no access will be off of, again, County Road 18, but the individual has an easement for ingress, egress, and utilities to provide access to these subdivisions, or these plats. And again, he is aware that we will not maintain this road, this road. This will be a private road that he will maintain. And again, at this time, there is an elderly existing road up into this proposed subdivision. But again, the gentleman is going to give them a new easement for ingress, egress, and utilities that he will maintain. And again, the developer is aware that the county will not maintain this road.
And considering all that Mr. Andrews explained to us, and this is, again, a minor subdivision, that the Refuge located at Section 1, Township 7 South, Range 19 East, Bradford County. Is there a motion for approval?
I make a motion to approve as read.
Commissioner Doherty made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrews. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor, by the sign aye.
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 Any opposed? 5-0.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Again, if I could get the three of you to stop by Mr. Cornelius' office when you finish up, I'll have a pen and I'll be there if you have any questions, and we can sign it and get it going.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you all.
All right, thank you, Ms. Andrews. Moving to agenda item 8, consider approval of the TDC funds not to exceed $40,000 to purchase a MERV unit for the fire rescue to promote Bradford County during events and protect visitors. We have Ms. Pam Wildell here. Pam, would you speak to exactly what this will do? Speak into that mic.
Yes, ma'am. At our last board meeting, we discussed this with the TDC board and discussion of TDT taxes and things to do to keep our visitors safe. TDT taxes are paid by visitors who stay in hotels, motels, the Holiday Inn, the RV parks, and other rented items for less than 6 months. It is not paid for by residents of the community unless you're staying in a hotel room. And so what we were looking at was ways to keep those folks safe. And what we could tell them is they're paying these TDT taxes. How are you keeping me safe? Well, are you here for the Strawberry Festival? Are you here for the fair? Are you here for Crawling with the Fallen? Sorry. Any of the events that we host in this community, even football games and other major events. Some years ago, back when Brad Carter was our county manager, I came back and I told him, I said, Brad, I've seen something we need. It is so awesome. It is a golf cart ambulance. So if you want to know what a MERV is, it's a golf cart ambulance. It maneuvers through the crowds like no other vehicle can. And we haven't had it happen yet, but at the Strawberry Festival, we have used it every day, at least once in the past 10 years probably. And I know it has saved some lives in other situations. And we just feel like this is a good use of these funds to keep these visitors safe. I mean, we do everything we can. We block roads. We do all the things possible through the sheriff's office and everything else to keep our visitors safe. This is just another way you can feel safe about coming to Bradford County. I asked Chief Carter to come up here because he has all the details if you really want to know what a MERV is other than a golf cart ambulance.
Sure, and we obviously appreciate the partnership with TDC, and you know, I think it is something that's needed in our county. We have right now, currently, we have one that was donated by the Keystone Volunteer Fire Department whenever we absorbed them years ago, whenever Station 10 was built, and that mule was a Kawasaki mule that was, I believe, 2003. So it's 21 years old, and then we have another one that was a golf cart that was purchased through a grant that is also, I believe, a 2008 maybe. So both of them are quite aged and just not really what we need for the purpose. They've served their purpose well, but there's, you know, much better equipment out there these days, and we're just looking to update that. So happy to answer any questions y'all may have regarding the purchase.
So, Mr. Carter, so in addition to this, you'll have your regular rescue or ambulance kind of vehicle that's nearby that's fully equipped?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And that's the thing is you can't, you know, during the festivals or fairs, you can't get the ambulance down there.
Right.
And so parades or whatever the case may be, this unit will be essentially on standby for those units or for those events and be able to maneuver through crowds again, like Ms. Pam was saying here.
And what will it have on it? What kind of essential equipment would it have on it?
So we haven't actually spec'd out as far as the what they call the skid unit that goes in the back of it, but it's based off the Polaris Ranger platform or any side-by-side similar to that. But you know, they have firefighting capabilities. They also have transport capabilities, and so we haven't actually built this thing out yet. And so they have some that you can get directly from Polaris through their government sales, but we quoted that, and it was not something that we're going to be looking further into. So we're going to be building it ourselves and you know, trying to squeeze as much out of it as we can. But it will have firefighting capabilities as well as patient transport capabilities.
Oh, so economic-wise, it would be more economically feasible to build it as a purchase as opposed to the purchase?
Correct. Yes, ma'am. And just to give you an idea, I mean, they quoted us directly from Polaris was $63,000 for this
Okay.
this vehicle, and that was just not we shut that down real quick. So
Okay. From the board, any questions from you guys?
I just have a statement, Madam Chair. It's just a very reassuring thing when, at a football game, when you've got a hurt player on the field, to see that thing coming out and picking them up. And anytime that you've got an emergency like that, it's important to get there in a very timely manner. And this little thing, like Pam said, maneuvers very well and gets to the injured person quickly. So I strongly support it. I think it's a great thing.
and aside from all the fairs and festivals we talked about, it would attend every home football game. We have one there, you know, every home football game now. So.
And with we're looking to, you know, increase our events. I know out at the firm, they're now in the process of planning another one, and which is they say dwarf Crawling with the Fallen, which is a Jeep event. So, I mean, as we plan these things, as we bring people to our community, it's going to be used even more and more than it is even now. which everything I go to, I see it there. And I don't know, to me, it's reassuring to invite somebody over and they know they're coming to a safe place.
Any other questions from the commission?
I just have a comment on the lighter side, you know, your reference to the Sugar Hill Gang. I thought I heard a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn there. And that was a nice little ring to that, so thank you. I don't have any questions.
Anybody else? All right.
Now that we have one.
So after our discussion, well, consideration for the TDC funds not to exceed $40,000 to purchase a MERV unit for our fire rescue to promote our events and safety.
I make a motion that we approve the MERS to be purchased not to exceed $40,000.
Okay? Motion by Commissioner Andrews, second by Commissioner Thompson. Any other further discussion or questions? All in favor by the sign aye.
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 Any opposed? 5-0. Thank you. Okay. At this time, we'll hear from our clerk, Mr. Thompson.
We don't have really anything much of substance to talk about this week, but I did talk with Commissioner Riddick last week, and I hadn't went one by one to each commissioner, but I notified the county manager probably about a year ago. I'd reinvested the county's, our reserve funds. I'd reinvested it all in certificates of deposits at separate banks, so everything's insured up to 250, and we're doing pretty well with those investments right now.
Wonderful.
All of them around 5%.
Thank you. Thank you. I think I saw our illustrious sheriff in the back. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. Okay, thank you. And at this time, we have our county manager's report. Mr. Carnegie.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Chair. One of the things I'd like to talk about this morning is our continuing services contracts that we have with 3 engineering firms. They're all currently in extensions. 2 of them expire at the end of this year. So I would like for the board to have a discussion about, you know, what do we want to do? Do we want to put out an RFQ to attract other firms and just give the staff some direction on how to move forward with that?
Madam Chair, I would like to see an RFQ be advertised for engineering services. I think that we're currently in a good position with a couple of our consultants, but we also need to reevaluate the ones that we have that you know, just based on their performance. And then also, as we move forward, you know, with some vision and having some economic growth and development, that we also open that up to create a larger library of consultants to be able to have ones in place that can help us with the airport, help us with the infrastructure going out to the bypass, and help us, you know, as we continue to look into the future of Bradford County. So my recommendation would be that we put out an RFQ and that we, as we did last time, form a committee to have them review the qualifications and then bring those qualifications back to the county manager and staff and the board. And then we can make a selection of 3, 5, 10, you know, whatever it might be. So, you know, we can certainly have more than we have now. Doesn't necessarily mean we go under contract. Well, we'll be under contract, but doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the ones that are awarded, you know, may not get anything in the 3 years based on their expertise. So again, it just, I see it at other counties, and it's just an opportunity to know that we have the right people in the right place, so that when something like that comes up, we're not putting out a separate request for services, and it's something that we're able to cover based on the consultants that we have on staff.
Mr. Carnegie, what are the consultant groups that are coming up that will expire besides?
Currently, we have 3. First of all, CHW,
Mhm.
Jones Edmonds,
Mhm.
and DRMP.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Madam Chair, if I
Yes,
may.
Commissioner Grant.
I think, I agree, Mr. Daltrey. I think it's always a good idea at a time like this, when it's up for renewal, that we take a look at the other possibilities. you know, sometimes people will get stagnant in staying the way it is without looking for a better method or a better group to carry us forward. So I agree that I think that we should take a look at some others.
No, I agree.
Okay.
And if I may, Madam Chair, there is a process to that, just like we did the last time. It takes time to advertise. It takes time that you give the applicants the opportunity to send their qualifications in. It takes time for a committee to review, and then it takes time to actually award the contracts. But we want to make sure that when we do that, that we have those in place, so when those other contracts expire, that we have, you know, we're able to move forward with projects because we're under contract. So I just want to throw that out there because there is it's a lengthy process.
And Mr. Carnegie, I concur with all of the consultant groups that are coming due, that we do that for all.
All right, so we have a consensus that we'll move forward with an RFQ for continuing services.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, very good. Another thing I'd like to mention, as you're all aware, the governor's cabinet conveyed ownership of the Douglas building to Bradford County back on December 19th. I got a call from Secretary Hamilton at DEP on Friday indicating that he had mailed the deed the day before on Thursday to Bradford County, to the clerk's office by certified mail. So I camped out over there for a little while yesterday, and it never came. So when this meeting's over, I'm going to go over there and pitch my tent again. And as soon as we get that deed, we'll get it recorded, and then we'll enter into lease agreement negotiations with MHD Rockland.
Mr. Carnegie, I'm so excited, like a little kid
Yeah.
waiting for Christmas to happen, but
the-
appreciate your good work in pursuing that and just kind of sticking to it. And it's another good example of patience, perseverance, and not giving up. And so we appreciate all of the effort that went into bringing that to fruition. So it is something that we look forward to, all of the prosperity that could happen as a result of that building.
Yes, ma'am. Finally, I'd like to mention that we had a wonderful event yesterday afternoon in Speedville, Commissioner Riddick's district. We had the groundbreaking ceremony for the living quarters at Fire Station 10. Chief Carter and his folks did an outstanding job putting that together, all the choreography and staging and everything that took place. The turnout was phenomenal. I really didn't expect that level of support from the community. I mean, there were some of the old Keystone Heights Volunteer Fire Department folks there. Pam was there, Patricia Evans, Amber Shepard, you know, all the economic development folks were very supportive. The sheriff was there. It was just a great event. It was good to see that sort of support. And I know Commissioner Riddick is very excited about this project, as we all are. But we should start construction in earnest within the next couple of weeks.
Okay. And we are elated as a county to see this come to fruition again, something that's been in the works for a while and it's been battered and beat over a number of years, but to have that happen, and our gratitude to Vince Eason for making that possible so that they'll have living quarters. It's one thing to have a building, but if you don't have the living quarters where the people can be there, makes a big difference. And we thank you, Mr. Carter, and your firefighters and all of the good work. They deserve that, and
Yeah,
it was
and
wonderful turnout.
Yes, ma'am. Chief Carter and I both want to personally thank Vincent Essen for the funding. A lot of people are unaware that this is not costing the county anything.
Right.
It's fully funded by private dollars. And that public-private partnership with the Keystone Heights RV Resort is paying off. So much gratitude to Vincent.
Mhm.
That's all I have, Madam Chair.
All right, and thank you again. And now we have our county attorney's report, and again, we say welcome to you, and I have to remind myself not to say Senator Bradley. This is Rob Bradley, our attorney. And thank you.
Well, it was an honor to represent the community in the other capacity, and it's an honor to represent you as your attorney. Our firm really does appreciate the opportunity to work with the county. I feel like I'm home today, and thank you very much. And I don't have anything specific to report.
Okay, all right, thank you. And now we'll move on to the commissioner's comment. We're going to start on the end with Ms. Andrews.
Okay. Well, again, just reminding everybody, of course, it's Fair Week, and come out and support our little kiddos. They work so hard. And we have a ribbon cutting ceremony at 4:45 today. Right, Pam? Okay, 4:45 today. So, and I too want to just say that the turnout yesterday at Speedfield was great. It was a wonderful prepared presentation, and everything went very well. And again, we're very happy to have this completed and a place for the staff to be. So, and one other thing, and I'm just the paperwork for the 5-year strategic plan. Are we anywhere close to kind of getting that to me on your projects and stuff?
I'll have to get with Amanda afterwards and figure out, right where we are, but we've been working diligently on it, and it's.
And you're gonna contact the other department. Now, I got something from Jason. Jason sent me his. I have your book, Ben, on the opioid, but if there's something else, please get with me, but you'll contact the others, right?
Yes, ma'am, absolutely,
Okay.
thank you.
And we'll finish getting this all put together for the board. And that's all I have, Madam Chair.
Okay. Commissioner Thompson? Do you have any comments?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank each and every one that's here this morning. Our crowd's down, but it helps us and makes us feel good when we got a bunch of citizens around. That shows they support and giving their input and output on stuff, how it's going. And echoing off what Commissioner Andrews said, get down there and help them kids this week. They worked hard. I went to the show last night. They had a good turnout down there, so y'all get down there and help them, support them. They worked hard with their projects and did a good job, each and every one of them, so that's our future, the youth, so let's get down there and support them.
Thank you. Commissioner Doherty?
I just want to, my apologies to Chief and the sheriff and anyone else involved with the fire department, or excuse me, the living quarters. Now, got me calling it a fire department. Wasn't able to make the event yesterday due to a work event, but saw some stuff on Facebook, and it looks like it was a good crowd, and look forward to seeing the project move forward. Thank you.
Okay. Commissioner Reddick?
Yes, ma'am. I just have a couple things. Board, I just wanted to give you an update on the pit bike races. I went to that event a couple Saturdays ago. Very, very fun. It was a good event. Unfortunately for them, it just totally flooded Friday night, so the place was a muddy mess. But I will say this, there wasn't one dirt bike track on that road. In fact, when you walked in, they handed you cards saying that if your bike was on that road, you'd be asked to leave. So just wanted to, some of the stuff that we discussed in our meeting, they really held up, and there was probably about 60 bikes there, I guess, something like that. Very good turnout, very good event. But I will say this, as far as the ambulance and all, I had no concerns once. I'd never been to a pit bike race before, but I mean, they might have been clearing as far as that table, maybe a couple feet high, so it's definitely not like a motocross race. It's not even close. So, but like I said, but it looked like a lot of fun. And in fact, I might buy a pit bike myself and go out there and play around with them. But it really looked like a lot of fun. I just wanted to mention that to y'all. Second thing is, again, the groundbreaking for the living quarters. Chief Carter, it was awesome. Thank you so much for that. And Dylan, I appreciate y'all, everybody that was out there, especially again, Vince Essen, because that project we wouldn't even be sitting here talking about it if it wasn't for Vince. So I really, again, just thank him so much for that. And again, this is just another phase of that project, and I can't wait to get it done and again, use those buildings for what they were designed to be used for, and that's to help people and save lives. And so I'm just really excited about that. Just last, Pam, TDC board, so awesome on the MERV. Really appreciate that, and thank you for your support with that. I really do appreciate it. And again, the fair starts today. Super fun time, and take your grandkids, go to the fair. It's just awesome. So, but anyway, thank you all very much. Thank you. And Senator Bradley, Rob Bradley, thank you so much. It's just a pleasure to work with you again. I really appreciate you being here.
It's great to see you too.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll just say, Madam Chair, if I may, hurry and buy that Merv if he's gonna get that bike, so that.
All right.
Ben, you'll need to be there next time.
I just wish to thank everyone for being here today in person and trying online. It's important that we be able to communicate with our community. There are lots of people who wish to be here that can't necessarily be here, and so we appreciate our information system and trying to get our computers and things set up. And I'm so happy with the working relationship that we have established over time, over the last few years with our different departments, and that we're working as a team, and that makes a difference in the productivity of our county. And taking a look at our budgets and being okay, being scrutinized, and even my sheriff that I pick on a lot, that we're open to suggestions, and I appreciate that. But again, as the others have said, we support our fair, and my favorite part is the auction during the livestock. I usually record that every year because it's just so fun hearing them doing it. But we have some other events that are coming up. Pam, our Strawberry Festival is coming up for March the 23rd through the 24th. So support all of those events. So when our community can come together, support each other, we're promoting Bradford County. Also, during these events, take those beautiful pictures that we can make application to the Florida Association of Counties and say, hey, Bradford County goes on that calendar. So this coming up year, I want some pictures submitted so that we can be considered for that annual calendar. And again, thank you, Mr. Carter, and the Fire Station 10 and those employees. I also want to remind you about the hub programs at the STARP RJE Center, now down in Hampton, where the old Hampton Elementary School. They're part of that industrial building. And also for Lodi at the Tatum Brothers, they also have that service there. And with that, one other important thing. So as we are partnering with our local surrounding communities, we've been working diligently with Clay County. Well, on March the 27th, 9:30 to 11:30, the ICO Clay Hill is going to have, I guess, their groundbreaking. So I encourage our commissioners to participate in that as we build these partnerships. This is just down from Lodi, a few miles, so that we can kind of build those relationships. And I made a copy for anyone who's interested.
Madam Chair, if I may, that event is by invitation only, so if you are planning on going, you'll need to go online and register.
Okay. So if you got the invitation, let's try to go if you're able to, based on your schedule. Anything else for the good of the order? If nothing more, this meeting is adjourned. Okay, we got these two. He said, Mr. Andrews asked for us to go over to his office, I believe.